What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Ben the Jeep Guy. I'm your host, Ben the Jeep Guy. Come to you for the first time from my new GoPro Hero 8. That's right, I finally invested in a dedicated, decent camera. I've been using my iPhone for years, and it's been pretty good to me, but I decided it was time to upgrade and move on to something a little bit more professional grade. So, got the GoPro, so you guys give me some feedback. Tell me what you think. Do you think the video looks a little bit better? Do you like this kind of vlogish style that I'm doing right now? Love to get some feedback from you guys, and just tell me what you think. And if you like the vlog style, I can keep doing that. If you like the more formal, I can keep doing that. If you like both, we'll keep doing both. So, but yeah, so 2020, it's like it never happened. It was just a bust for the whole planet. So didn't get a whole lot of Jeep stuff done. Basically, every fun Jeep event around here was canceled. So that kind of sucked. But yeah, we're gonna move on. We're gonna rebuild. Oh, I'm just kidding. But it does seem like a lot of the COVID stuff is finally starting to taper off. Hopefully that trend will keep going and we will finally get to some Jeep stuff this year. I know that Sheriff's Jeep Fest here in Georgia, that's still on the books for later this year. They confirmed recently that that is still planned. So hopefully that'll hold out. Cases don't matter, and vaccines, people can get them that want them, whatever. But yeah, so hopefully we'll be able to still do that. That's my big event that I'm pushing to try to get to this year. And I got a lot of projects to get done in order to get to that. So yeah, we're going to talk about those projects today too. So anyways, let's head out to the garage, and I'm going to tell you guys all about the awesome projects that I got coming up, because I think you guys are going to find some of those really intriguing. Most of them are for the XJ, but I also do have some WJ projects. I know that a lot of you guys started watching me for the WJ stuff, so I'm not going to forget you guys. Got some really cool stuff for that as well, but most of it's for the XJ. So let's go outside and take a look. All right, still got the old green XJ. It's not going anywhere. Told my wife that when she married me, she married the Jeep, and I'm probably going to die in this thing. So, but my lovely wife got herself into a fender bender, and that it's putting it so nicely. She destroyed the back of a minivan and totaled it. But the Jeep, this is exactly how the Jeep looks ever since. She just got a little bit of damage right here, cracked the header panel, so that's going to be a new header panel. Need to get that painted, and some scratches on the grill here, so we're going to get that repainted as well. And I'm going to do the headlight buckets as well, so it looks all nice, new, and fresh. So yeah, my wife, God love her, she's a bit of a driver. So yeah, so what do we got going on with the XJ? Let's start with that one. So I picked up some MOLL Panels, which I know that's not that impressive. I mean, we've all seen these MOLL Panels, but I got a cool one. First off, I picked up some of the center console ones. They're JCR lookalikes, made by a guy that kind of does those on the side. But I had an idea in my head, and I told him all about what I was envisioning, and he brought it to life. He's like the Steve Wozniak to my Steve Jobs. This guy really did an amazing job. So let's take a look. So that is a MOLL panel, and you're probably thinking, where the heck does that go? That actually goes where the spare tire goes in the XJ. So I've always hated the spare tire location. When you take the spare tire out, which I did because my Jeep came with the full-size spare. If you have the donut, then it doesn't take up nearly as much space. But I had the full-size spare, and it took up a considerable amount of space, so I gained a little space when I took it out. But I just hated that space because it feels like dead space. Because you got that hump that's in the floor, and that's for the fuel filler neck to get down to the gas tank. And so it's always just been like unusable space, and I hated that. So this is going to help me basically make use of that space, and it's going to be able to, I can mount stuff to it, and I've already got something planned for that. So let's take a look at what that's going to be, because that's going to be another project. So that's right, I got myself an ARB twin air compressor. So I got that thing locally. I'm gonna call it used, but he never actually used it. He mounted it up and couldn't make it work, and that's because it's a 24 volt compressor And you can't make a 24 volt work on a 12 volt system or a 12 volt work on a 24 volt system unless you have a step up or step down converter. Now, that is not my idea. I am not taking credit for that. I actually was tipped off by that idea on that idea by a guy on one of the forums. So when I get around to actually doing all that, I'm going to show you guys how to install that. And at that time, I'll make sure to give that guy the proper credit, and I'll actually link the thread on the forum so you guys can go and see some of the information that me and him have shared back and forth. But I do want to make sure that I give him credit. I don't know his actual name, don't know who it is, but I want to make sure that he gets the proper credit, because I do not want to take credit for something that he helped me out big time, because he was the only one to say anything. I looked all over the internet, nobody else addressed this. I even called ARB themselves, and they're like, yeah, you can't do that. Well, of course they want me to not have that one and buy another one. But anyways, so he was super helpful. Want to make sure that he gets the proper credit. So I got the ARB compressor, got the MOLL panels. Oh, axles. Got stuff planned for the axles. So let's take a look at what parts and pieces I bought for the axles, because I think you guys are going to love this. And it's going to be super cool, and I don't know if anybody else has really done it yet. So I might be the first one, and I'm going to be a guinea pig. But let's see what we're talking about. So, oh, what is that there? That is locker. Oh, no, that's 2 lockers. That's right. Those are JK Dana 44 lockers. And those are from factory JK Dana 44 axles. So those are the factory lockers. And I know that they're not the best in the whole wide world. Obviously, there's stuff like ARBs, Ox lockers, etc. that are probably a little bit better, a little bit stronger. But seeing that it's going on the XJ and it's only on 35s, I think that we're going to be all right. I think we'll be okay. Anyways, the reason I did that is I could pick them up used. So, but I'm not going to give you guys any more information about that. But you're probably thinking, well, Ben, the Rubicons have 2 Dana 44s. Don't you only have 1 Dana 44? I do only have 1 Dana 44 right now. That's right. I'm going to be building a front Dana 44. So let's take a look at that. Down there, I have the inner C's and a center section for a TJ/LJ Rubicon Dana 44. You're probably thinking there's some stuff missing there, Ben, and you're right. I'm going to be doing a full rebuild. I mean, from the ground up, everything, and it's probably going to be the most bomb-proof TJ/LJ Dana 44 without buying one of those crazy crate axles that cost an obscene amount of money. So I'm going to be really rebuilding that, and going to try to stuff some JK lockers in both that axle and my rear XJ Dana 44, but I'm not going to tell you anything else about it. I'm not going to give any more information away. I want you guys to come back and watch episode 1 in that build series, because it will be a build series. There's no way I can fit all of that into one episode and give you guys the proper information on it. So it's going to be a whole series. Episode 1 is going to be all information. No installs yet, but I'm going to be doing a lot of discussion of the information and the things that I've been able to gather on that axle build, why I did it, why I chose that instead of other options. So anyways, all of that's going to be in episode 1 of that. So like I said before, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Yeah, so hit that subscribe button down below. Make sure to hit the notification bell. That way you know when I upload that episode shortly after this episode. So what else do we got going on? Oh, WJ. I promised you guys that we were going to be doing WJ stuff. So we are doing WJ stuff. We have a Zone 4-inch lift kit. So if you guys remember, I've done a budget boost. So this is going to be the next evolution in lift kits for Jeeps, specifically the WJ. And it's a full-on lift kit, but it's a budget-friendly lift kit. Doesn't have all the parts and pieces in the world that you could ever put on one of these things. So it's going to be something that will evolve over time, but it's a nice budget-friendly way to get it 4 inches in the air and put some decent-sized tires underneath it to get started. And another project that we're going to be working on with the WJ is I have an NP 242 heavy-duty transfer case. So if you're familiar with WJs, or even if you're not so familiar with WJs, our Overland came with the Quadra Drive 4-wheel drive system, And the downside to that is the transfer case that comes with it. It's still a 2-speed transfer case, but it's an all-wheel drive style transfer case. So it's the 4-wheel drive is automatically engaged through a series of clutches and couplers and whatnot. But I hate that because I don't have manual control over when it's in 4-wheel drive and when it's not. So I picked up the 242, and it's the heavy duty version because it came behind a V8 WJ. So which is a little bit more rare. Usually that transfer case was with the 4.0, and those are not usable without tearing it down and replacing some parts on the inside. Now, I say that because I am going to tear it down and replace some parts on the inside. I'm going to do a full rebuild on it because it's seen better days and it's not in that great of shape. I don't know how many miles are on it. I've played around with it, and it does feel like the chain might have stretched a little bit. So I'm just going to do full rebuild, all new gaskets, all new seals, all new bearings, new chain. And if I got the money, I'm going to try to do a slip yoke eliminator kit on it as well. But that means I'm also going to need a drive shaft, which adds to the cost of doing a slip yoke eliminator. So I may or may not be able to swing that, but I'm going to try. And anyways, that's going to be all in that episode as well. I'm going to try to show you guys exactly how to tear it down, put it back together, and hopefully the slip yoke eliminator too, and get it installed. Another part of that installation is you don't necessarily have to replace the shifter, but since it's got all the different positions on it, and the shifter in the Jeep now doesn't show like 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive full-time, 4-wheel drive part-time, etc. It only says 4-wheel drive full-time, neutral, and 4-wheel drive low. I definitely want it to match, so I did pick up the shifter and everything, so we're going to get that installed as well. So it's going to be a lot for that one, but it'll be pretty cool, and it'll be a nice addition to our WJ. Make it a lot more functional. Hopefully it'll save a little bit of fuel miles per gallon. So we'll have that 2-wheel drive option. Anyways, that's it for today. That's all I got to discuss. Make sure to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll get on to that real soon. So anyways, that's it for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. If you're new, like I said, hopefully you subscribe. And outside of that, until next time, keep Jeeping.